Hello and welcome to part 3, or which is actually the fourth video in this series of making augmented reality applications using Unity 3D and a computer vision library, mostly using free tools. So first of all, the core component of this particular tutorial is going to be using the Unity 3D, which is a very popular game engine. And till now what we have done is we have used processing and a computer vision library called NYAR toolkit in order to achieve our augmented reality project. But over here we are going to use Unity 3D, which is going to enable us to make far better applications. Okay, so you can download Unity from over here. It is free software. You don't have to go pro, and the tutorial what I'm going to use will work absolutely as good in a Unity free version or a Unity Pro version. You don't have to spend $1,500 across it. So go ahead, download your Unity free version for your particular operating system, and after that we are going to get started. So let me just go ahead and launch my Unity, and let's see what I'm going to be up to. So while it is loading a particular project, what I wish to do is I wish to create a new project. I am going to choose a location for this, which is going to be Unity examples, and let's call it Unity AR tutorial. Create project. Let's give it a moment before this project gets created. You see, as of now, it is an absolute blank window. In this project hierarchy view, you can see we don't have anything. Now what we are going to do is we will first of all download a computer vision library, NYAR toolkit library for Unity across over here. So let's head out and search for NYAR toolkit, and let's see what we get. There you go, the second example over there, nyatla.jp, nytoolkit.wp, and I'll just go ahead, click on this link. This page should be in Japanese. There should be an English version. Come somewhere down, and what you are looking for is NYAR toolkit 4 for Unity 3D. Go ahead and click it. Wait for a minute. All the comments are going to be in Japanese. Allow Google, your friend, to translate it, and the moment it translates, it'll talk about a couple of features. It'll also give you a couple of more information about how to get it started, but let's not get it too complicated. I'm going to walk you through all these steps. Simply go to download. This should show you a couple of versions, and all you have to do is simply go ahead and download the latest version. Give it a few moments, and now while this downloads, I already gone ahead and downloaded it, so I am going to head across, and this zip file is where the download is. So go ahead and open it, and you will see it's got a Unity package. It also once again has the hero pattern, which was something which you came across into the last video, and it's the same pattern which you'll be using over here. So simply click on this Unity package. It'll decompress and it'll tell you whether you wish to import all this. Simply go ahead and say import. Now what you will see is that your empty project, which was empty till now, is now filled with all these files. You have a data file, which is mostly going to be the pattern files. It's got NYAR toolkit CS. CS stands over here for C#, and this is where most of your code or the computer vision libraries exist. Please do not touch it. And what we are interested in, a couple of samples. So let's just go to this Simple Light folder, and over there you will come across with this Simple Light scene and a script. Now load the Simple Light scene, and in your current view you will see that you have a couple of items across over there. You got a camera, you have a marker object, and a cube. So now over here, let me take a screenshot, and I am going to explain how the Unity layout and interface works by editing the screenshot. This is your scene view, and your scene view has a hierarchy which got a couple of elements. First of all, your camera is there, and whatever you're seeing across over there is how the scene will be viewed from your camera, which gets played across over here. Now what happens is, if you remember, in our processing, what we used to do was we used to write a bit of code which we used to write within processing itself, and every time we would run it, the code will get executed. Now in case of Unity, this code gets written in a separate file, and this separate file is then attached for your camera, and this file is attached to your camera. Since your camera now exists in the scene, and when you will hit play over here, which is the same as our play button in our processing, it'll get played out over here, and any script which was attached to any object in the scene view will start getting executed on a per frame basis. So in our case, in this simple light view which is over here, and when we'll click run, will start getting executed. We have only one script, which is AR camera behavior attached to the camera. So now let's go and take a look. We'll run this project and see what happens. So here you go, we are back. You will notice a change in the sound because I switched the microphone which I was using for recording, but here we are back to the Unity, and let's simply hit run and see what happens. There you go, something seems to be happening. Here it is, yours truly once again, but from a different point of view. The reason is Unity in this particular case is using the eyesight camera which is on top of my laptop. So here's a front view, and let's do the same thing. Let's show my marker. Will something happen? Nothing? Something's wrong. Let's investigate. First of all, let's pause this, and now let's take a look at this script. So you see the script, if you double click upon it, it opens, and I want to draw your attention to this particular line, new webcam texture. So this is the default setting, and this will work, in my experience, work on most of the webcams, including most of the Windows webcam. But I know that my webcam resolution is 640 by 480. It operates at 30 frames per second. So let me save this file, go back to Unity, and once again run it. And we should be back on track. You should see me in a minute. There I am. And let me show this. And what do we see? So augmented reality is once again happening. And how does this happen? Well, we seem to have a red cube, which is this particular red cube, which is now following my marker. And at the same time, if you go ahead and take a look at the code somewhere down, you see this code looks for an object called marker object and applies the augmented reality transform to it. So this marker object, which is an empty object with this cube as a child, is what is being used in the Simple Light program. So marker object by itself does not render anything, but wherever it translates to, so do the child, and the child over there, which is the cube, is what ends up achieving our augmented reality. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is as simple as replacing this cube with any other object which you wish to bind to your marker. What could this object be? Well, in Unity 3D you could work with a lot of objects. However, I believe the best way is make a custom object. Now I use Blender, which is a fantastic program. Once again, it is free. You can download it for various operating systems, or if you do not wish to make your own Blender models, you can go for Blend Swap, and you could download a Blender model which others have made. In my particular this tutorial series, I am going to use a model which I have built, which is going to be this Me-35 helicopter model. Let me just show you what this model is. It's a gunship. It's animated, so you have your main rotor and your tail rotor rotating. It is also quite low poly, so it does not have a very high overload, and it operates quite beautifully. And it is this model which we will use, and I will upload this model wherever I am going to be uploading this video, so you could download it for yourself. So let's take a look at our Unity project. Go back to our Finder, and we will take the UV texture and the model, both of them and simply drag and drop in the same folder where we were initially carrying out our example, which is Simple Light over there. So let's come back to Simple Light, save the scene, save the project, and take a look at this model. So you see it has come across in Unity, but before we can use it over here, we will do a couple of changes. First of all, look into the animations and do store in nodes, and wrap mode is loop. So your rotor, which was animated for one complete circle, will now keep on looping and hence rotate indefinitely. Apply these changes, give it a moment, and now simply drag and drop and make it a child of this marker object. So whenever this marker object, which is bound to the augmented reality marker, start getting following the position of the marker in your webcam view, the same fate will also happen to your Me 35 model. Now, so we have two children. Now, the cube has a scale factor of 40. The reason is even our Me 35 helicopter over here will be made at a very, very small scale. So let's go ahead, give it a scale of 40, 40, 40. And while we are at it, change the rotation value as well. As for the cube, we do not need it. So let's get rid of the cube. Let's play it and let's see what happens. There you go. I'm back in the view again. And if I show my marker, so you see there is something happening, but it seems to be the helicopter, but at a very, very small size. I know what the problem is. Go ahead and take this Me 35 and switch off animation. The reason is when we kept animation, we want the rotor and the rear rotor to animate, but not the initial model. The initial model also has a keyframe which will make it revert to its original state, which is a scale of 0, 0, 0. So once again, save scene, save project, and if we run it, it should happen. But while we're at it, I also wish to do a second change. What I wish to do is, I do not wish to use my eyesight camera, but I wish to use my camera number 2, which in this particular case is the PlayStation Eye. So you see this devices picks up all the webcams available, and rather than using the default or the 0 or the first camera, I wish to use the next camera, which in this case is the PlayStation Eye. So let's go back to Unity, doing these two changes. Some error. I'm sorry, this will not be I, but this will be 1. Let's go back, clear all our errors, and hit play. Let's hope for the magic. Aha! So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, yours truly once again with, what do we have over here? With my Me 35 helicopter beautifully rendered in my hand, and there you go. How difficult was that? Just a few lines of code, maybe just a few minutes, and we have a Me 35 helicopter following my hand using this marker and a realization of augmented reality. So Unity 3D, very powerful software. You can use anything. You can use a Me 35, you can use James Bond, you can use a Porsche. Sky's the limit. You can have the Eiffel Tower in your hand rotating around. So what can you use this for? I believe the best application for this will be for educational medium. For example, if you want to make a kid's book where you have a marker which is, for example, just a marker which symbolizes, let's say, a complex 3D DNA helix. And then you tell a kid, look at this marker through either your computer, or you can obviously port this application to an iPhone or Android, and suddenly the kid is going to see this beautiful helix which is going to come out and rotate in 3D and understand what it really looks like in 3D rather than a static image. So I would encourage you, whatever you have learned, please try to make it into a good application and share it with others, share it back to me. It'll give me immense happiness to see someone who has gone ahead and created something of far more utility what maybe I could have taught you. So I hope to hear back. Go to my website anuragrana.com/about and either send me an email or catch me on Facebook, and please share these videos. I hope someone who's in search of how to achieve augmented reality will find their answers over here. So with this, I sign off. Oh, by the way, before I sign off, what you can do is you can use the build settings and port these applications either to a PC or a Mac or iOS or an Android and continue to use the magic. So here is wishing you all the best. Go augment your reality. Bye bye.